Welcome to Zion Analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Kenyan opposition files Ruto's case to ICC over abduction, which seems to repeat itself in this country. Remember, the current head of state came out in public and said that there is not going to be abduction anymore, and those who had been abducted to be released and taken or freed back to their family members. It is so unfortunate that the current opposition yesterday wrote a letter to the ICC demanding William Ruto to exit the office. Their remarks comes a day after the Juja MP had been abducted.
The escalating human rights violations and political intolerance in Kenya and the region. We, the united opposition, stand before the people of Kenya and the international community, gravely alarmed by the heightened descent of our beloved nation into a state of repression, lawlessness, and political persecution. Despite our persistent calls to end arbitrary arrests, abductions, gross violation of human rights, and extrajudicial killings, the Ruto administration seems to be on a race to the bottom, that is to anarchy. In recent days, the country has been plunged into a disturbing pattern of political repression and targeted violence. Most shocking was the brazen abduction of the Honorable Member of Parliament for Juja constituency, the Honorable George Koimburi, whom we have visited this morning, and who was forcefully taken by unidentified assailants on a Sunday. He had gone to church, only to be later found tortured and dumped in a coffee plantation somewhere in Kiambu, literally fighting for his life. The horrifying incident is not isolated. It's part of a chilling trend where elected leaders and citizens, particularly Gen Zs, aligned with the opposition, are being systematically targeted to silence any dissent against this regime. In Kakamega, what was meant to be a peaceful homecoming for our colleague, Honorable Cleophas Malala and the supporters of the DCP party, was quickly turned into a war zone as police deployed excessive force, including live ammunition, to disperse opposition supporters. A few days before, the same cruel pattern faced innocent, peaceful citizens in Bungoma protesting against the grabbing of the Nzoia Sugar Company. This use of disproportionate force on unarmed civilians is not only unlawful, but represents a dangerous erosion of the right to assemble as enshrined in Article 37 of the Constitution of Kenya. Moreover, we have repeatedly raised the alarm over the state-enabled culture of impunity, where political hooligans are mobilized to disrupt opposition events violently. These criminal gangs operate openly, often shielded or even escorted by state security forces. From Busia to Kisumu, Nairobi to Nyeri, opposition meetings have been ambushed, tents destroyed, sound systems and cars vandalized, and citizens assaulted. While the police stand by, or worse, collaborate in this chaos, this is no doubt a state-sponsored political terrorism. We also condemn, in the strongest terms possible, the murder of two Catholic priests, Father John Minor, who had just recently hosted the second deputy president. We also condemn the death and murder of Father Alois Cheriot Bet, who had also been paid a visit by DCI officers, only to be murdered shortly thereafter. We are in solidarity with the Catholic Church in demand for justice and holding to account those responsible for these heinous crimes. These violations are not only gross violation of the Kenyan Constitution, but also a violation of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights and other international rights statutes, including the Universal Declaration of Human Rights 1948, to which Kenya is a signatory. the International Convention on Civil and Political Rights, ratified by Kenya as far back as 1972, the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, which enshrines the right to liberty, assembly, and freedom of expression. These legally binding instruments obligate the state to protect, not to persecute, any of its citizens without exception. We are deeply disturbed by the growing role of private sector enablers in this crackdown. We call out telecommunication companies, in particular Safaricom, which may have turned a blind eye, or worse, actively collaborated with the regime in surveilling, tracing, aiding, and abducting of these citizens. We demand that they publicly account for the data they provide to security agencies and affirm their commitment to protecting the rights and privacy of their customers. We equally put on notice all political and business elites, those who fund the goon squads, those who lobby for the maintenance of tyranny, and those in the diplomatic community who remain silent as Kenya burns. History.
Remember, this is not the first time I'm analyzing such kind of a video. I talked about it, and it seems it is really making William Ruto to be scared. I want us to be very much brief on this. Before I carry on, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to this broadcast. Pleasure to meet you once again. It is my hope and prayer that this video is going to find you well in good health. Thank you so much for your continued support always. I don't take it for granted. If you are first time viewer watching me in this channel, I request you kindly do me a favor, take a 1 second, click that notification bell and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like my video, share to your friends, family and relatives. You see, Ruto need to change. He has a long way to go. The opposition who Ruto is interacting with are not the current opposition he was used to. That is the first thing he must understand. The current opposition are a serious opposition. They know William Ruto in and out. They don't care. And they can do anything to ensure that Ruto become one-term president. Well, I am not bothered whether he come or become one-term president or not. My conclusion is this. Why are we still in the abduction situation? Yet we had rebuked ourselves, we had rectified ourselves, and we had even vowed not to repeat the same abduction. So, according to Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa, and Justin Muturi, they have proved to William Ruto that they have enough evidence. Take him to ICC, because in Kenya he is found of these lawyers, and lawyers, the current lawyers, might favor him if any case he has been taken to court. And now they are saying enough is enough. Kenyans need to relax, and the only option they will relax is to ensure that William Ruto is under arrest using the ICC administration. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what is happening as State House is in panic, as Kalonzo and the team now demand William Ruto or Karim Khan administration team. Sorry, Karim Khan had been prosecuted, but the ICC administration to come in this country to ensure that William Ruto is put in arrest, custody. Is it going to be possible? Or how will they do it? So that is what is looming, and let's wait the result. Bye bye, all the best.